the unofficial breakdown. We are back. It's official, or it's unofficial in this case. Sorry for the hiatus there, but I've been pretty ill for the last little while. This is probably the first time in I don't know at least 3 weeks where I can talk without coughing or hacking or blowing my nose for the first 5-10 minutes, which is nice. So I guess let's get into it for the most part. Leafs get a win tonight, which is honestly not a good thing at this point. I think everybody wants the Leafs to be losing so we can get a better draft pick. And I don't think management agrees with that because no matter what happens, they keep playing every star player they have. Obviously, Matthews is out with a knee injury. And yeah, it's tough right now. Nice to see them get a win, but I want to see them lose. It's a really weird time. It's the first time in a very long time that I've ever actually wanted to see the Leafs lose basically every single game from, a couple weeks back to the end of the season, but it is what it is. They still have to remain competitive and, sell seats and whatnot. So I get it. I just think that if management was actually, looking forward to the betterment of this franchise and the good things to come, and at least something to hang your hat on at the end of the season would be getting a draft pick. And if you have to give that away to Boston, well, that's a kick in the nuts at the end of the season. Honestly, it's going to be pretty bad if we have to do that. So I wish they would either bench Nylander or Nyes or just play a lot more lower tier players that at least they're going to try. But I think the talent will not be there. So that will result in them losing a lot of games, which would be good. But seems like they don't want to do that, and they want to fight and claw for every single win possible. But it is what it is. At least it was a good game to watch. Um, Leafs get outshot 43-18. That's probably one of the worst shot differentials I think I've ever seen at this point. Like I don't even know what to say, honestly. I mean, the Rangers are a horrible team. I mean, they're bad. The record is almost it's a little bit worse than the Leafs right now. But still, they've had an awful year, and for the Rangers to come out and allow you to only get 18 shots on net and for you to give up 43, that's an egregious difference. Like, I don't even understand that. I know the Leafs D is bad, and tonight they didn't actually seem like they were that bad, but I still 43-18 is just as shocking. That's really shocking, to be honest with you. So getting into the game, we had a nice little surprise there at the start, which was kind of cool. Ernie Clement and George Springer came out, to watch the game, which was nice. Couldn't find their seats apparently, which was kind of funny, but it is what it is. They figured it out. Had a long interview during the game too. Like, I understand that it's nice to talk to them a bit, but my God, I want to watch the game. Like, I know Ernie Clement played hockey, but I don't need a whole like 10 minute interview with him about his hockey days. Like, let's leave all the interviews for the baseball stuff and see what they can do on the field, because I don't know. It just seemed like they were constantly bothering them that whole game, but it's okay. It's nice for them to come out and see it. With that being said, the Leafs actually had a very clean cut first period. They did get outshot. It wasn't that bad at that point. Wall made some great saves. I think that, they're pushing Wall a lot more these days than Stolarz. I think obviously because Stoli was hurt for a little bit. But still, I think they're pushing him to either see if he can, stand up to the number one goaltender position, or maybe possibly for a trade, which I hope they don't do. But they're really pushing him here to get a lot of games in to see if he can take that load. So that's good in a sense. I mean, with all the games he's played, he's looked pretty good. So that's nice. But yeah, I mean, he helped them out in the first period for sure. Got him a lot of big saves, kept them in it, which was nice, or not nice, I guess, in this case. Cowan looked good after that game against Boston, where he kind of jumped in after the Tavares hit. I thought his confidence went off to another level at this point. He's just finding a lot of open ice, a lot of time. He's playing with a confidence of where to put the puck in good areas. He's not rushing with it, but he's not being slow either. Like, he just looks like a really confident young NHL player, which is good. I think that it's something that you can really bank on, is him developing and him looking good, or possibly even better next season. So I was happy with that. Had a great game today. Rang one off the pipe too. Super close to him scoring. So Leafs finished the first period up 2-0, which was nice. Second period, start with a great PK. Joshua scores, which is nice. Some of the lower tier guys getting some offense too. Then, of course, the Rangers come back and make it tight, which was expected. With all the shots that the Leafs were giving up, at some point the Rangers had to come back, and get something, which was fine. I think that the second period woes continue for the Leafs in terms of their. I don't know. They just seem to kind of. I mean, they they have all sorts of problems. They come out slow, they come out fast, it's whatever. But after their first period, they kind of got into a little bit of a lull and allowed New York to kind of come out and get a couple chances, which they scored on. Zibanejad's tough too. I mean, he's such a good player that containing him is very difficult, which they obviously had problems with tonight, which was tough. Um, but even then, at the end of the second period, the Rangers had 31 shots on goal. Like I watch a lot of NHL games, and there's plenty of games I've seen where at the end of the game, both teams don't even have 31 shots, and they had 31 shots at the end of the second period. Like my God, like I don't know. And again, I don't think the Leafs defense was that bad. I thought they were half decent, but I mean, I think after that pathetic showing from the Rangers in their previous game, they were just trying to shoot everything. So a lot of them were to the outside, I guess, but still, it's ugly right now. So Leafs began the third period on a power play, which it's not been the best. Steve Sullivan, he came in, he did a great job kind of firing up the power play and making a couple changes. I think, especially with Matthews out too, your main shooting offensive forward is out. So you kind of liked Nylander, one of the other guys to kind of fill in that spot. It seems like they're a little discombobulated on the power play, but you know what? For the most part, it wasn't too bad tonight. They got some looks, but I still think they're miles away from it being any sort of any game breaker at this point. Their power play it's not as weak as it was, but it still has a long way to go for it to be anything solid, which is unfortunate. Tavares comes down the wing, scores a beauty too, and Tavares is one of those players that I think he might be a guy that's just on your fourth line. He has a decent contract now. He looks like he's slowing down, but every now and then he just has a game where he pops and he looks good. Now usually it is against a team it seems to be, an out of playoff team that's kind of beaten down. But for the most part, I still think Tavares can hold his own. It's obviously tough for him when the team's out and it's not looking this good. The psychology of it all kind of comes into it, and you can see that he's not as engaged as he would be. But tonight he looked pretty good. Comes down, rips one home, which is actually it was a beautiful goal. So good for him. And then Zibanejad, a few seconds later, scores a second of the game, 4-3. Because, look, not that I want the Leafs to win a game, but if they're going to win a game, it has to be tight. It can never just be a good win. Like, even that Boston game, my God. Like, I've never seen the Leafs dominate Boston the way that they did, but even then, they got bailed out by the goalie multiple times. So, yeah, I mean, no surprise Zibanejad comes down and makes it 4-3. Very close at that point, and then the Leafs finished it off pretty good. It was a little close there, a couple block shots at the end. McCabe was doing well. I like that. OEL had a couple nice clears tonight and some good zone time. But for the most part, it was a half decent effort against a team that was absolutely trash. But I guess at that point, that's both teams. So what can you really say? But no, at least get 2 points. I was happy with it. Excuse me. But yeah, I still think I think there's 9 or 10 games left now. And yeah, they got to start losing. It's tough at this point, with management seemingly pressing for all the wins they can get for some reason, and every logical fan on the planet who's watching this team just wants them to lose. Like, you got to take guys out that are skilled. So yeah, I don't get it at this point. I still think Berube's lost the room. There's been a lot of things that have happened since my last show, but I at this point I'm very pissed off at both Treliving and Berube. I think both of them need to go. Probably one of them will. I really hope it's Berube at this point, because I think he's just lost the room. I don't think he knows what the hell he's doing coaching this team, especially the other game, shutting down Easton Cowan, in the media, and I don't know. At this point, I think he's just the players don't like him. He doesn't like the players. And when you have a situation like that, it just you can't flourish. So I don't know. I just don't think it's working out. But it is what it is. Leafs get a win. I'm happy to see it for once, and hopefully they lose the rest of the games that they have. That's pretty much all my voice can take, though, for tonight. So I appreciate it if you're tuning in. If you're not, you should be. I will try to do as many shows as I can going down the stretch here, but we'll see how it is. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you soon. And I was gonna say go Leafs go, but I guess not in this case because we need that draft pick. We need to lose some games here. But yeah, I'll see you soon. Good night.